Sense of purpose. A sense of purpose, or what is your experience? What is your sense? What is your awareness? What is the importance of purpose? What's going on, my high vibrational individual expressions of God on earth? This your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, aka Master Teacher 33. Today we want to delve into this thing that we call purpose. You know, I've been doing purpose, destiny, what I call diakonia, Greek word, diakonia, that means service or ministry. I've been doing these reports for over 30 plus years, full time. An amazing thing to me is about, especially now, with the advent of AI, that's replacing a lot of people's jobs and causing a disturbance, if you want to use that term, in capitalism and the way by which we generate our capital, or the way that we earn a living. Most of us are aware and know that poverty is man-made. So in other words, scarcity, again, is artificial. There's no such thing, because we live in an abundant world, but certain people hoard. Supposedly, based upon statistics now, the 1% or the 10% is hoarding more of the quote-unquote wealth. So we got to define those terms when we talk about wealth, because as I talked about inside of the series that I did a couple of days ago, breaking down the fact that, you know, wealth and money, these are terms that are created by the dominant culture, because wealth and money really has nothing to do with paper. Wealth and money has to do with health. Wealth and money has to do with nature. Wealth and money has to do with the mineral resources that we manage. That's true wealth. Wealth is the ability for you to govern, for your ability to create, your ability to think outside the box. That's wealth. Purpose has to do really with control. Purpose really is about control. So what is your sense of control? Meaning, influence. Purpose is influence. Because where influence is not known. So do you have the ability to influence your reality? Do you have the ability to have an impact on your life? That's purpose. So purpose, again, is meaning. Purpose is reason. Purpose is what and why. That's why we see an increase in suicide. Right now, if you look at the statistics, because more and more people have a less power to influence their reality. Purpose is the ability to influence your reality. I watched some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. It was like, 3 hours long, on the diary of a CEO. They had an atheist, they had a spiritual thinker, and they had either a psychologist or a Christian on the show, and they was talking about purpose. They was talking about the power of purpose. That's why I love spirit and science, or psychology, because you need both of those to combine to give you a sense of influence or the ability to have an impact on your own life. So purpose is the ability to feel like you have an impact on your own life. Purpose is control. Purpose is the ability that you feel like in your little area of expertise, you have the ability to have control over your finances. You have control over your health. You have control, again, over your knowledge base, your ability to ascertain and gain new skill sets. You have your ability to control your relationships, to have a positive impact on your relationships. Purpose gives you the ability. Purpose gives you power. Because purpose gives you the 7 P's that I've been talking about for 30 years. Purpose gives you something called principles. These principles give you got purpose. Purpose, again, gives you principles. Principles, again, will give you this process. This process will give you a procedure. This procedure will give you a product. This product will give you profit. This profit will give you peace. Peace of mind. That's purpose. So when you understand the 7 P's of purpose, which is, again, I've been doing this for 30 years. If you do not have your purpose report, go to the website, diakonireport.com today, 50% off. Or go to the website, masterteacher33.com. Click on the link that says Diakonia Report. Pick up your Diakonia Report today, 50% off. It's extremely important. Too many people are going through life without purpose. Too many people are going through life without this feeling that they have this ability to participate in life. Too many people's life is running you. You are not running your life. Life is controlling you. You are not controlling your life. Too many people feel like their life is out of control. The dominant culture is creating laws and rules to make sure that you stay in a state of scarcity, that you stay in a state of fear, that you stay in a state of doubt. So everything on this planet is designed to make sure that you establish a feeling of scarcity. I need to make sure that you feel like you do not have the ability to impact your own behavior. You don't have the ability to solve your own problems. You don't have your ability to overcome obstacles. You don't have the ability to sit down and make up a plan to totally transform your life. You don't have the ability to learn a new skill set. The whole purpose for the dominant culture's perspective is to make sure that you stay in the rat race, that you have a feeling. Whether it's real or not doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you have a feeling that life is out of control. That you have a feeling that you need a savior. You have a feeling that you can't do it. Some person, place, or thing outside of you have to do it. Now there is a need. There is an awareness to over understanding. But we must understand that 2,000 years ago there was no such thing as a worship team. There was no such thing as the VMAT2. There was no such thing as chromosome 2. All of this stuff from a biological perspective have already been proven. That's why psychology is so important. I'm not against a rely on systems. I'm not against religion. I'm not against the reverends, the doctors, and the bishops. In fact, I'm one myself. As a licensed ordained minister, one of the things that I focus on is helping people connect with the higher self, help people connect with the higher authority, help people connect with God, help people connect with Yahushua the HaMashiach. But we all know that the scripture specifically states, faith without works is dead. So that something that you have to do, you have a part to play. Ask, you shall be given. Seek, you shall find. Knock. So you should be asking, you should be seeking, you should be knocking. It is your job, brothers, it is your job, sisters, to be able to wake up in the morning and establish this sense of purpose, this sense of destiny, and sense of diaconia. So that's why we have a part to play. So it's not this easy believism that you have something to show. You have to show up every day in your own life, because faith without works is dead. It's very, very important. A lot of people, especially with all of the stuff that's going on today, have this feeling of hopelessness. I talk to young people all the time in my counseling. I've been doing this for 30 years. Inside of the spiritual mechanism, inside of the psychological and the spiritual aspects of what I do every day. And that is assist people with establishing a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, a sense of meaning, a sense of fulfillment, a sense of a spiritual ID. You're a royal priest. You're a holy nation. You're a joint heir. You've been justified. You've been sanctified. You've been glorified. You've been called. You've been gifted. Source knew you in your mother's womb. God knew you in your mother's womb. Yahushua the HaMashiach knew you in your mother's womb. Jesus came that you may have life, and life more abundantly. Jesus wishes that you prosper and be in health even as your soul prospers. So it's very, very important that in this day, in this age of easy believism, and in this age of artificial intelligence, in this age of artificial scarcity, in this age of artificial illnesses and sickness, most people are dying from preventable diseases because we don't have the ability to push away from the table. We don't want to move. Movement is magic. Exercise is exorcism. Almost every day I come on this Facebook Live on this treadmill doing my warm-up exercises, preparing for my workout. And the reason that I do that is because when I first started 40 years ago, I started with fitness in the park. And I started revealing, explaining, illuminating, simplifying the biblical diet. And I broke down based upon the book of Deuteronomy, the book of Leviticus, even in the book of Genesis, where it talks about that the herbs was given for meat. And we're supposed to be eating fruit, vegetables with seed. That's why everything now is seedless. So we are all suffering. But it is man-made. It is artificial. Everything that you're experiencing in your life is the opposite of what source code has designed for the life. It's not by accident, though. We know that this is a man-made system. We know that Lucifer, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Leviathan, Belphegor, Samael, Brachus, whatever name. I've studied all world religions. I've studied them all. I've researched them all. All of them. They all at the base, at the core, saying the same thing. That's why, especially us melanated Negroes, we love to argue and debate. We're all saying the same thing. There's a church on every corner in the hood. And nobody's working together. Everybody's doing their own thing. That's why we are divided. If you want to destroy somebody, divide them. So once you are divided, not only in your own thinking, so your head, your heart, and your gut is not in alignment with your God-given assignment. Therefore, again, we cannot climb. We cannot shine. We cannot activate and override the reticular activating system from a biological and a psychological perspective. From a spiritual perspective, we must get past us arguing and debating over non-issues. We must understand Hebrews chapter 11. We must understand Hebrews chapter 6. We must understand Ephesians chapter 2. We must understand John chapter 3. You see, brothers and sisters, who's what kindred you may have life and life more abundantly. It's very, very important that we grow up. We must understand Hebrews 6, 1, 2, and 3, where it tells us to go on to maturity. Not teaching again. Not laying again the foundation. We spend too much time on the foundation. Sure, you need the foundation. But boo-boo, how long have you been talking about the foundation? How long have you been preaching Jesus Christ and Him crucified? I mean, not you personally, but people you know. So remember, your environment is your curriculum. Your circle, your family, your friends, the people that you hang out with, they influence you. If I want to know, you can tell a person by his friends. So your environment is your curriculum. That's your school. Your family and your friends, those are your teachers. They are influencing you, or you are influencing them. And the immediate and the most important thing, especially for the young folks, 30 and under, you must find and fulfill your God-given purpose, destiny, and diakonia. Otherwise, you ain't gonna make it. Because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. One of my mentors that I talked about that gave me the foundation of understanding the value of purpose was the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe. And as you guys may or may not know, Dr. Miles Monroe really talked a lot about this thing called purpose. And once you understand the power of purpose, because your purpose comes from source. If you want to know the purpose of the thing, don't ask the thing. If you want to know the purpose of the thing, ask the creator of the thing. In nature, nothing in nature is created without a purpose. Let me say that again slow. Nothing in nature is created without a purpose. Nothing in nature is created without a purpose. Everything in nature has a purpose. You have a purpose too. So to the degree that you know your purpose, that's the degree that you're able to stand. To the degree that you know your purpose and the person that gave you your purpose. So you got to know whose you are and who you are. Go to the website Diakonia Report. Click on the link that says purchase and pick up your Diakonia Report today. Go to the website masterteacher30.com. Click on the link that says Diakonia Report. Pick up your Diakonia Report today. Because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. There's too many people, especially the younger generation, that don't have a sense of purpose. They don't have a sense of meaning. They don't have a reason. They don't have a motivated abilities pattern. They don't have a motivating factor. They cannot tell me their strengths. They know their weaknesses. Can you list your 10 strengths right now? You should know 12. I got 12. Do you know that 12 times 12 gives you 144? You have 144 attributes and characteristics given to you by God. Do you know what they are? I know mine. So I know that I'm a 336. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5, 4, 9. 360 degrees. Do you know your Kirka? Kirka is the Greek word for the English word church. You go to church, but Negro, you are the church. Contrary to popular belief. You don't have to go to church, you are the church. You take the church with you. When I go to church, I don't need nobody to rev me up. I don't need nobody to pray for me. I don't need the choir to sing me happy. I show up already in the presence. I'm already in the Spirit. I live in the Spirit. I walk in the Spirit. That's your job. Sure, I have bad days. Sure, I fall down. But as soon as I fall down, I shake the dust off my feet and I get back up and I reconnect. It is your job, brothers. It's not the reverend doctor's or the bishop's job. It's your job to establish a motivating abilities pattern that is so powerful that you cannot sit on the sidelines and watch your life pass you by. You have to jump in because you don't need outside motivation when you got divine inside revelation. You don't need outside motivation when you got inside divine revelation. So my internal revelation overrides all external demonstration. My internal revelation overrides external demonstration. You see, my brothers, you see, my sisters, that's the level where there is no devil. You must get to a level where you're able to oscillate and vibrate higher. Everything on this planet is about frequency management. It's about frequency alignment. It's about under, over, and understanding vibrational intertanglement. As I broke down inside of the book in the series, Quantum Kingdom Entanglement Prayer. So there should be a prayer that creates an entanglement with the kingdom in the quantum realm. In physics, it's called quantum entanglement. In physics, your intention connects to source and entangles with source based upon this thing that we call prayer. Prayer is this ability to have a thought that controls your nervous system. So you get what you can emotionally hold. So you order, you connect, you pray without ceasing based upon your nervous system or based upon your CNS, your central nervous system, and your ANS and your atomic or your automatic nervous system. They call it the parasympathetic nervous system. So your parasympathetic nervous system, the lymph nodes, the crystals, the magnetite, the calcite crystals inside of your blood, your brain, throughout your entire body, they vibrate. Crystals are amplifiers. They amplify your intent. So you have a part to play. Just like it says in Hebrews 11:3, the worlds were framed by the word. Your world is framed by your word or lack thereof. It's your job to establish your own sense, your own feeling, your own awareness of your own purpose, your own meaning, your own reason for existing. It's found inside of your name. It's found inside of your date of birth. It's found inside of your blood type. All of these frequencies, waves, and vibrations was given to you by source. You have a date of entry. You have energy that was imprinted on your soul that's inside of your DNA. Your DNA is your spiritual antenna. Your DNA connects you to the cosmic realm. So you are a cosmological, theological, biological being. You have a part to play in your destiny. You must operate and vibrate according to your own personal destiny, dear clear life path. Or you'll be a social path or a psychopath. So if you're not on your life path, you're on a social or psychological path. That's why we have psychological. That's why we have pathological. It is very, very important, brothers and sisters, because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. More so than ever, I talk to people who are suffering from a lack of clear direction because they don't have control. Purpose is control. Purpose is influence. If you don't have the ability to influence your own life, then life is going to influence you. If you don't influence your own life, life is going to influence you. Purpose is the power and the ability to influence your life. Purpose is the ability to have influence. Source code has a plan. Your job is to line your mind with your God-given design. You have free will. Although it is limited, you still have free will. It's very, very, very important. You have free will. Limited, but you can choose to be about your Father's business, which is your purpose. One of the first statements in the Bible that Yahushua made, in the red letter Bible, his mother asked him, he was 12, 13, whatever. Hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? Yahushua, Jesus Christ, responded, I'm about my Father's business. I'm doing what I'm called, gifted to be and do. Later on, in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he saw that he was facing the cross, he said, Father, take this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. So you got free will. You can do what your name and your date of birth and your blood type that has been imprinted on your soul, that's activated, lying dormant in your DNA. You can turn your codes on. You can turn them off by the word, using epigenetics. That's why spirit and science both are extremely important. So you can do what Yahushua the HaMashiach did, whom most people call Jesus Christ. You could say, hey, take this cup from me. Or you can do the same thing that Yahushua the HaMashiach did. You can do the same thing that Jesus did, which is what I recommend. Nevertheless, not my will be done, but yours. I'm here to do the will of my Father. I'm here to do the will of my higher self. I'm here to do the will that's been written inside of my DNA before the beginning of time. See, we have this treasure hidden in earthen vessels. God knew you in your mother's womb. He called you, predestined you, predetermined you. So you can walk according to your destiny, or you can walk according to your own direction. But it's done unto you as you believe. So brothers and sisters, join me, make sure that you are here to find and fulfill your God-given destiny. If you need assistance with that, check out the website masterteacher30.com. Click on the link that says Dear Kenil. Or go directly to the website, DearKenilReport.com. Pick up your 750-page report today, 50% off. Man, I love you. I appreciate you. For all my young people out there under the age of 30, you have meaning. You have worth. You have value. You're born at such a time as this. Because what your voice, your story is needed. The universe is waiting. The world needs to hear your voice. Make sure that you express, expose, and expand your God-given purpose, destiny, and Dear Kenil. Holla at your boy. I'm going to see you at the top.